Hangover gang, are you tired of being drunk on this Babylonian bullshit? I know I am. Thank you so much, Tom McDonald, because you're right. You missed. Rest in peace to Corey Comparator, former fire chief, the man that was shot and died at the rally protecting his family when they clipped Trump's ear. My condolences to his wife Helen and his daughters Allison and Kaylee and father Raymond. There was also another who was injured and is in the hospital. I think with all of that said, that is, in my opinion, the most important thing, as someone did lose a life here. Now with the assassination attempt, everyone's going to have their own opinions. Coming from me, I don't necessarily want to go down that rabbit hole other than what Tom says himself. So instead of what I have to bring to the table, I want to hear what Tom says with his lyrics, and then we can decipher the lyrics. And if there's anything I want to add on to my own thoughts, sure, we'll go ahead. But I think Tom McDonald's probably going to do a pretty good job. I think it's incredible that he literally did that like the night of, and then filmed this, made the beat, and put it out literally the day after. That's an incredible feat, and being on the pulse. And you know Tom McDonald really is on the pulse and wants America to be better. So I'm very excited to see what he has to say about this honestly monumental moment in our history. A horrifying example of political extremism in America. Yeah. During a rally, shots were fired in an attempt on Donald Trump's life. But they missed.
They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is, then graduated to you're racist if you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election, they got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals.
Yeah.
I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? Millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're making billions on untested remedies. Borders are open to people with felonies. Biden can't stop them, he don't have the energy. Y'all wanna kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance, like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong, cause y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along. Wanna protest? Go hard. Wanna burn flags? Go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed.
Wow. Powerful. Already getting his point across so quick, and we know how much this is blowing up. He literally just went live as I was doing this reaction, which I thought was just incredible timing, because honestly, it's just on the pulse everywhere. I am from Canada myself. I'm from Canada myself, and that's the only thing a lot of people are really talking about in their own opinions of if it happened, even the conspiracies of if it was set up, if Simpsons even predicted it, all those different scenarios that people are throwing in the rumor mill, if it was ketchup, if it was set up, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying at the beginning of this video when people get drunk on Babylon. It's even in the Bible where it talks about us being drunk from the fornications of Babylon. And all these lyrics that Tom McDonald said were honestly so penetrating. So let's kind of go through each one. And I'm going to bring up the page so then y'all can kind of see with me too. They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is. Yeah, where does progressiveness go? Is there an end goal to someone trying to equalize something? Or is there always an attempt to want to go past the equalization and then to continue forward in full control? So is it more about equality, or is it more about, I just want to be the one leading it now, and this is my way of taking over? Which is why they're saying they're starting with the gender. When you break that code of what an actual marriage is originally and traditionally, it's going to change things. That's what it's saying. That's why it started with changing the genders as well. We can go to the genders or even to the marriage of the gender roles for what a marriage is. Then graduated to your races if you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. Now, if we think we all are a different race, I think that is foolish, and I think that does come from evolution itself that says there are different races that are more superior, which is an easy way to then put races against each other, not understanding that God says we are all made in the image of God. We are all in that same creation. We're all the same kind. We all have melanin in our skin. We all have the same DNA of a human. We're all the same. We shouldn't have that divide. They don't want peace. They want skeletons. They want men to pretend they're feminine. That is 100% happening. That's what I'm suggesting. I even talked to an artist recently, and I asked them about revolution if you think there always needs to be death involved. Unfortunately, even the artist said, yeah, even though I'm not about that, if a revolution actually has to happen, death needs to happen. So now, if they're openly wanting a revolution and that's okay, I don't think murder's ever okay. But if you're okay with a president being murdered, that's your prerogative. Maybe forgetting what assassinations do for the whole world. It doesn't just apply to your civil war. All right. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. I have a son who was 13 being pressured in his school to literally become more feminine. And that pressure alone made him go homeschooling for a little period. He then got the courage to go back to public school and then defend his want to not go feminine. So if y'all don't think there are those pressures out there to do that and you think that's blowing smoke, then tell my own son who demanded to come homeschool because of that pressure. They don't want an election. They got so offended by freedom that they just tried killing the president. Absolutely. World War I started with killing, I don't know if it was the last Tsar, but it was one of the Tsars. And because of that bloodline, which we know all presidents go down to a bloodline, that is not going to be good for the actual world itself. Now some are saying this is creating world unity, but we'll see what happens inside of America now because of the civil unrest that must be coming from this. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. And I wouldn't want to say everyone who is woke is evil. I think that's too far, in my opinion, Tom. I think being misguided can lead you to doing evil acts, 100%. But let's not take away that a lot of people will be misguided, even in good intentions as well. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. That is why we started with telling people who actually died here. I remember when Kobe Bryant passed away, how many of the other people that died in the helicopter were not even mentioned. So that's why at first, that should be the first thing being mentioned, that someone innocently got shot in an assassination attempt. None of that is okay. So, and there's people, even from Tenacious D, Kyle, my name's Kyle, but not Jack Black, the other member from Tenacious D, then said, I wish they hit him and killed him. Now, that could be the end of Tenacious D. I saw it in a short. Am I not exposed to believe what I see on the internet? I heard it. That's why I'm saying being drunk on Babylon. Okay, so thought y'all were tolerant. Thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Yeah, like you're part of a militant group, and we all know how many people literally got paid to riot. Literally. And some of those people were jobless before that, and the only job they took was rioting. So that's because of the built-up anger towards the establishment itself and injustice. At the end of the day, people think they're mad at humans. You're mad at the structure of reality. You're mad at God itself. You all have Cain's issue. Cain saw what was Abel and killed it because he could not become it, because his own heart was vengeance. And you can see, why are we celebrating an assassination attempt if we know anything about history of the domino effects of what that could have done? I would have been affected. My family would have been affected. Pre-chorus, thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Absolutely. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish he was dying. I think a lot of people are choosing to be blind and have admitted that it doesn't need to be rational anymore, and vengeance has taken over. The chorus, bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Try to lock them up in a cage. Now you're trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. They can do a lot to a man, but if God wants a voice to come out, he does pick those who we think may not be the right choice all the time. Moses, which I am not saying Donald is a Moses level person, but Moses himself had a speech impediment. And most people would say, if you're trying to lead a people to go somewhere, you wouldn't want someone leading it with a speech impediment and who fumbles. So that's why God also gave Moses Aaron, who then spoke for Moses, though Moses was the deliverer. We know Donald Trump has an incredible team around him as well, which is why it looks like a godly team from the outside of what is happening. Especially because y'all already tried to lock him up too. Now we're on to verse 2. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? We always have, though. And as soon as we're using money, we're already in gas. I mean, do you know who owns the gold and the gas in the world? Look at those families and find out what they do. If you do not know them, please search it up, because then you would know, even just using money, you're already supporting them, which is why I personally don't think there is a political solution for a spiritual problem. Okay, millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're taking billions on untested remedies. We know all the damage that a lot of even these psychologists have done with all these false mental disorder prescription drugs that have really influenced and changed a lot of people's lives, including my fiance, who she accidentally got diagnosed with epilepsy and she did not have it. So you could imagine what happened from that. So, and we know all the things that people are addicted to, even sugar. That's where I'm saying. So I can get mad at all these things, but I still buy these, and these are not good for me. So at the end of the day, sugar is so addicting. It kills a lot of people. Obesity, diabetes, a lot of things. So I'm trying to also come from not a neutral way, but being as honest as I can, where then I fall short on what he is saying here too, because there you go. So borders are open to people with felonies. Biden can't stop them. He don't have the energy. It's not like a president ever could physically stop that anyways. And I've heard that even people who did support Biden say that it's been the worst presidency ever. And take it from my side in Canada, anytime you talk to someone over here that did support Biden, they're ashamed. Straight up ashamed. Just like Trudeau. If you supported Trudeau in Canada, now people are pretty ashamed if you did. Okay, so those are our leaders in North America. Y'all want to kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? Yeah, let's have living heroes instead of dying heroes. I try to give y'all a chance, like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong. Because y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you. That's where I would stop and say, you're wrong, apologize, move forward. I would not try to add more fuel to a potential civil war. You have so much influence, Tom. Unless you also want war, then I don't know, and I'm not accusing you of that. But all intentions, Trump did say fight, fight, fight. He didn't just get up and say, it's okay. What does Jesus says? He says, turn the other cheek. He does not say an eye for an eye. I can promise you that. So, want to protest? Go hard. Want to burn flags? Go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. There's no one screaming out for gun control right now at all. Do y'all notice there is no gun control being screamed out right now? Is it because it wasn't a child at like a school shooting, so that's not significant because it was only a fire chief that was a father and just a potential Trump, and then because it's not children, we're not worried? Like, there's no consistency there at all. It's insane how inconsistently y'all are with your thoughts on that side. Being progressive, that's not very good thinking. Be consistent, please. So thank God the left can aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom isn't afraid of violence. You wish he was dying. Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can aim. Why can't we shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you're trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Well, if you think this song was a hit or a miss, let me know in the comments below. I truly think it was a hit. Every song that he has is such a talking piece. I can't believe how much conspiracy theories are already coming out on this one. And these are just my thoughts coming from a Canadian who actually has gone to America back in 2016. For 3 months of my life, I dedicated and I left everything to do this. I'm not lying. To America, and I went to 6 different states in there and talked to thousands of people a day to say, get out of America before the Civil War comes. Go find another place, get out while you can. You would rather be many years early than even an hour late once martial law and all that stuff gets put on. I would highly suggest anyone to try to get out of there instead of thinking you could fight it. If you do think you can fight it as well, I guess more power to you, and try to fight for what you believe in. Sometimes you have to know, though, especially if you're a godly person here, people, that you may have to leave your country for a few years and come back later. There is multiple times, including Jesus himself, where they had to go to even Egypt, which was a place that used to be where the Jews were in bondage, but he literally had a sanctuary in Egypt when King Herod went to kill all the kids that were 2 or younger in all of Jerusalem. So they had to leave for years and then came back. That's what I am suggesting. If you want to be wise, there's no winner in a war. And if it's civil and if it's that far, take the history of what has happened already in the 21st century. No, in the 20th century, so especially in the 1900s. Oh my God, we should have already learned this, but we haven't. I pray to God that all of you find a refuge in this time. It's going to be a difficult time moving forward for y'all. From the outside, if you knew what people were even talking about y'all's situation, all eyes are on America right now and what's about to happen, and we can see it. People like Jordan Peterson were really trying to hammer this to people's views, where it's like, if you are this negative about 50% of the population that voted for a certain person, if you want to shoot that figurehead, do you realize what the figurehead represents? It represents 50% of the population. That's not a good recipe. And now that that's coming back and they want to take them out so they don't have to experience that shame, like I'm saying, I pray to God for y'all. I hope you had a good time on this one. This was a bigger dive into it. I wanted to give it full attention and give it some time to think about it and try to make it as much about what actually is happening in a godly way that I could. I hope you all had a good time with this reaction today, and thank you so much for spending time. We are now exiting the rabbit hole, folks. Please go and support Tom McDonald on his channel. Peace and love. God bless y'all.